Hi. I didn't know you were at WIL.
I know. This just happened relatively recently.
Awesome.
I didn't know if you'd remember or not.
Congrats.
Well, thank you.
How's your world?
Oh, my world's good. How's your world?
Good.
Obviously, it's good.
Busy and good.
All right, Jody. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are here in Nashville. I'm very excited about this one. The Outsiders, Mr. Eric Chruch right here. Now, you probably don't remember this. You meet hundreds and thousands of people. But I met you years and years.
Oh, I remember.
Oh, you remember right
Totally.
away?
I remember. I met you at Fiddle and Steel.
Look at
Correct?
that. You are right. Very good.
Yeah.
I actually have a photo. Do you remember that guy? That's you from the...
I don't.
No,
Look
I
at that
know.
kid.
I know, right? How great is that? But, you know, flipping off the camera, so that's
Pretty typical.
that's typical you.
That seems right, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, good. All right. So I love this. I love it. Now, I've kind of been, watching your career. Did you know back there that this was going to happen? Blow up kind of like this?
No. I think I always wanted to be a songwriter. I think the artist thing found me more than I went looking for it. But no. Even early on in our career, after the Sinners in Carolina album, I never thought. Chief was a different animal. When it came out and went from playing bars and clubs to arenas and winning awards and all that stuff. I never, ever thought that would be something that would happen to us.
I remember back in the day trying to make you sing, and you didn't want any part of that.
It wasn't ever something. It just wasn't. That wasn't the thing for me. I really thought songwriting would be what I would do for a living, and it's funny how stuff like that happens.
Just kind of happens to you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
The songs kind of, the career found me. Which is I think an interesting thing with something with us. That we didn't seek it out.
Now, The Outsiders is kind of a whole different kind of album than any of the other ones. I've heard you say you wanted to earn your success and not just, kind of build off Chief.
Well, I think we got to a point where we could have taken a safe path after Chief. We had enough success that I knew there was an easier path for us if we wanted to, but I didn't want to do that. I think that it's our job, I think, as artists, when you get a lot of success and you get to a certain point in your career, that's not when you start getting safe. That's when you push it more. That's when you try to move the genre, move the format, break down any barriers that are there, mine new creative ground, whatever you want to say. That's when we do it. It's not when you're early on and you're brand new, because a lot of people won't pay attention to you. It's when they are paying attention to you. And it was just very important to me for this record. And this one is, it's a wild ride from start to finish, and it's meant to be.
Well, it definitely is now. I heard you wrote 121 songs from this, and you said some of them would have been huge hits, but you didn't put them on this album.
Mm-hmm. Because I thought we had done it before, or people were doing it now. So I wanted it to be different. And every song on there is unique, and it's a different journey. It's a different road. I think you have different emotions as you go through the album. From the first song, Outsiders, which hits you pretty hard, to the next one's just me and a guitar on a man who's going to die young. So it sets you up pretty quick that this is going to be a different ride than what people think it's going to be.
Absolutely. My personal favorite on this one is Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, I like Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, do you have a personal favorite on this album?
That's one of them, but Roller Coaster Ride's wacky. That's just a wacky tune. I've never had a song that felt like I was on or what the song was about. It's called Roller Coaster Ride, but I feel like I'm on one when I'm listening to it. And I love that. And I love Joint at the end because there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just creative freedom, and then it just ends. So it's cool. It's got trombone in it too, which I'd never used trombone before. So my songs are a little bit different than I think what most people would latch on to. Mine involve moments in the studio, or there's a reason that I like the song.
I like that. I like that a lot. When you look back at your other albums, is there a song on one of, not counting Chief, is there a favorite song that you have on one of the other ones?
I love Lightning off Sinners Like Me.
You've always liked that one.
Yeah, because it started everything for me. It's the reason I got a publishing deal. It's the reason I got a record deal. So I always go back to that song. And here it is. It's about death penalty.
Right.
So of all songs to start a career for you. But I think it set us apart. And I think that's also been a pretty good roadmap for the other albums in our career. We've always tried to make music that set us apart a little bit. Had a couple exceptions, but for most of the time we've tried to do stuff that's more artistic and creative.
Yeah, no, you said you have a couple of exceptions, and I know which one you're referring to because I read about that in the Playboy article that you put out. You still play that one live, though?
Some.
Yeah,
the other one's Hell on the Heart. Those are the two to me that came at a time in our career, and I know people love them, and I do too. I get busted for this, but they just were safer. and I felt like I had to do them at the time. There were other songs on the Carolina album that I wanted to put out, but I didn't feel like we could get them played at that time in our career. So we put those out, and then what was ironic about it is the Smoke a Little Smoke was the one that ended up changing everything, probably the most, outlandish song on the album. And that taught, I learned a lot from that. I learned a lot on the Chief album, and then now I'm tired of worrying about, anything other than the creative process, and how do we make sure that we're making art. And as long as we're doing that, I'm happy.
You're not worried about losing people or gaining people along the way?
No, because I think you're going to lose and gain them if you're being artistic. I think that's fair. I think when people come in and go, this guy's lost his mind, that's cool, because I think it needs to be put on that ledge where it's judged that way. If you're not doing that, what are you're just making the same music again over and over. And I just don't. I know that there's a shelf life to what I do, and what I mean by that is there's only so much ground you can mine creatively. I'm going to run out of room at some point, and when that happens, I'm done. And I'm not interested in just continuing to make records just to go play shows. When I feel that, because what feeds me creatively is finding new things to do artistically. So when that is gone, I just don't know that it'll drive me as much. So I don't know when that is, but that is coming. I've said many times I'm not going to make a lot of albums. People should know that.
Wow. I mean, that's kind of like a warning. You've played Lollapalooza, you've played Metallica's Fest. Do you see yourself veering off into these other areas, or do you think country music is
No,
home?
country music, it's my home. It's what I do. I think the lines have been blurred a lot. I don't believe genres really exist to a consumer anymore. I think if you're a 20-year-old kid and I grab your iPhone or whatever you're listening on, I'm not going to find things based on genre. I'm going to find music that's all over the place. I think the lines have been blurred a lot. And I think that because of that, it's good and bad. We can't lose the soul of who we are as country music. I think that's important to me. It's all about the song. We're still a home with a singer-songwriter, and I think we have to pay attention to that. But the other side is, because the barriers are breaking down, there's a lot of diversity, and I think that's good. I think as long as it's authentic to what you do. I think when you start chasing things just for success, you're in trouble. If it's authentic, do it. If it's not, don't copy somebody else. And I think a lot of times when something's successful, everybody tries to copy that formula, and that's when I have a little bit of a problem.
Right. Now, you've said a little bit about the rap thing in country music, but then you have the spoken word.
It's not rapping. I think mine was. I don't judge it that way. Mine is just spoken word, and I think there's been a lot of that. Conway did that all the time, back in the day. So I think it's an element on this album we hadn't done before. There's a lot of spoken word. There's a 4-minute poem in between, Dark
Which is
Side
actually
Devil.
really good, and you came up with that in the parking lot, right?
Yeah, Arthur Mills Mall. Yeah, I recorded it there.
So when were you thinking about this? And
right
how many drugs were you on when this was going through your head?
a lot of it is being in Nashville for a while. I'm always intrigued by Nashville, that you'll see this one person who becomes, all their dreams come true. They become a superstar. Then you see this person standing on Broadway playing for tips, and the difference between the two talent-wise is very minimal, if any. And I've always wondered why. And it just seems to be a cruel town sometimes, and then sometimes it seems to be the place where dreams come true. So a lot of that was going on. And after being in town a while, there is a seedy nature. There's a dark side to the town. And knowing that's really where that came from.
I absolutely love it. I could talk for you to days, but I'm getting the sign to wrap it up.
Okay.
So, Eric Chruch, you want to tell St. Louis hello and how much you love them, of course.
I absolutely love it. And I will, I'll be there soon, I hope.
I think you will. I think I heard a little rumor about that too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Eric Chruch.
Thanks, Angela. Cool.
Before you go.